things here. One is the bite of the Jharkhand Chief Minister, and the second is the issue of BLOs. So are BLOs overworked, madam?
No, Karthikeyan, I really don't think so. If you look at it, I discussed it with you last evening also, that there are 1,500 people in a booth. Now, it's not that each BLO has to go to 1,500 houses. Many people live together. Many people live, together in a chawal or a high-rise building. All together, it forms one booth, which is about 1,500 people. And almost now, I think within the 25th of November, which is tomorrow, forms have already been filled and sent back. There is huge hue and cry about some digitization which needs to be done. Even in the digitization, as a BLA, I can tell you, I mean, I've been working with many of the BLOs. There is a QR code at the beginning of the form. I don't know if in your state the SIR has happened or not. Above your picture on the right hand corner, there is a QR code which is unique to each and every citizen. So the moment that is scanned, the details which were already there in 2002 comes. Now, if I want to make a change, for example, if there is a surname change in case of women, or if there is a spelling mistake, or if you want to shift your residence, only that much has to be typed in, that this is the change given. Now, I really don't see what is the overworking, this story that all the Trinamool and Congress keep cooking up. I understand there have been some deaths. My condolences, deepest sympathies to the families.
Okay.
But suicide, if you're awaiting suicide, then there is a term called temporary insanity. One really doesn't know what kind of stress has prompted somebody to commit suicide. Why are we blaming a constitutional procedure which has to be done? I mean, I'm sure you wouldn't want outsiders to come and stay at your house and eat your food and use up your electricity.
Okay.
Nobody wants that. Nobody in the right mind wants that. So why this hue and cry by Congress, CPM, Trinamool, and whoever wants to just create a ruckus here?
Okay.
There's no need to do this.
Mr. Mitra, your opening comments?
First of all, it's a tragedy that people are losing their lives on a constitutional process. And, Karthikeyan, just coming back to Shatrugopalji's points, this online process, it does not work. I'm telling you, because we've just filed a complaint to the Election Commission. So see, there are three things which happen in this online process. You get an OTP. By the time you get the OTP, the site falls. Then, then there's the online and the offline records. They don't match. People who are there on the 2002 list, they are not there on the online list. And the third point, right? So you have to upload a picture, your recent picture on your online form. Same thing. By the time you upload the form, the system crashes and the system, this whole thing goes away. So these are the three basic things. So when she's saying that the digital process works, it doesn't work. The BLOs are very overworked because the BLOs, who are they? They're the teachers. They are supposed to be working throughout the day. Then they take off time and then they go and reach out to the people. So first of all, the whole process, we are not against SIR. I'm going to put it out there. We are not against SIR because SIR has happened before. It should happen. But let me put it to you in a better understanding. In 2002, Bengal had over 4 crores voters, and we had this SIR process. That time it was not special. It was the intensive review. It took over 2 years to do it. It was a 2-year process. Now, ma'am, let me finish. You can come back later. But now you are giving them 1 month to do the process. You're giving them the apps which are not working. The BLOs themselves have said their apps don't work. And you see this whole process as you make it into just before the election. So why didn't you do it with Bihar? This is what the Congress is saying, that when the Bihar process started, you knew Bengal was going to vote in 2026. Why didn't you start it then? Or why didn't you start it right after 2024 Lok Sabha elections? What is the need that you're doing it right now? And just to defend what Mr. Ansari said, because let me tell you, you are picking up on Mr. Ansari's comments. The BJP leaders in Bengal, they have gone and said that you're going to remove 2 crore voters from the voter list. So where are they getting these numbers from?
Since you mentioned Ansari, your opening comments on what he said in Jharkhand.
Well, I think, those kind of statements should completely be avoided. He's not a normal person on the road. He's a minister. He has a constitutional obligation to make sure that these kind of statements are not said, and by saying that you put somebody who comes to inquire about it, you lock him up and I'll see what can be done and all. I mean, these kind of acts or statements doesn't behove, any elected representative, forget minister. Second thing is, yes, I agree with one point that that there are BLO, there have been several BLOs and newspapers have all been publishing detailed reports on that there's a lot of work pressure on them. And it's one thing to do a process in a timely manner, but there are many BLOs who have been complaining about it, that the time frame which has been given to them is not realistic. So I think there has to be a decent enough of time, because you would not want anybody to botch up. Because there have been complaints at several places where, when people would call on the helpline number, there are 4 helpline numbers, one would, a newspaper carried this investigation, they would just simply disconnect the phone. So you were not able to call. So I think, there should be a reasonable time limit, because we have to also understand that these BLOs are the one who are also doing the teaching job. And then after that, they are going out to, to fill the forms and all. So there has to be this. But yes, the statement of Mr. Ansari, that cannot be condoned in any which way.
Bhanu, your thoughts, just to add one thing, when you hold simultaneous polls, it's not as if, it's the first time that people who are involved in electoral processes have undergone pressure. The Indonesia example is in front of us, whereby a lot of people lost their lives. So it's internationally, it's not that this is the first in India. But my question remains the same. Why SIR exercise is being opposed so much? Because, the pattern of voting in Bihar showed that despite deletion of bogus voters, the voting went up.
Correct. So, Karthikeya, I was recently in Chennai, and I was part of the revision that I'm a voter, so like the BLO officers came to my house, and the process is heavy. Like nobody's taking it away from them. And in fact, see, the DMK initially opposed the SIR like wholesale. In fact, even asked like why this SIR should be conducted in the first place. But then what happened was they started sending their representatives.